This afternoon we're excited to share with you where we're going next with the Enable product. Hi, I'm David. I'm a co-founder at Enable, and I'm excited to share what we've learnt from our customers and our market research about the biggest challenges our customers are facing. And I'm delighted to be joined for the first time by Miraj. It's been 1 year, I think, Miraj, since you've started leading our product team at Enable. So how's that been for you?
Yeah, it's been 1 year yesterday. A lot has changed in our product. A lot has changed in the product management department. We've launched a lot of new features. There's been a lot of change for me personally. I got married 4 days ago. Thank you. I'm going to tell my wife this was the reaction. This is not my honeymoon, by the way. So this is not my honeymoon, but happy to be here.
No, this is great, but the honeymoon hopefully will be good as well.
Yep.
So yeah, it's been fun working with you this year, Miraj. And you know, thinking about what we've heard this morning, we see rebates as a strategic force, really, in our businesses. And this morning we heard Andrew talk about our mission at Enable, to help enable trusted trading relationships to serve our customers better together. And the currency of these trading relationships, these partnerships, we see is rebates. And we all see that customer expectations are rising. Andrew talked about that Amazon example. And for our ecosystems in our own industries to survive, we really need to work as seamless extensions of each other's businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we see rebates as a behavioral aligner. So, like, what does that mean? It's not just for one company, and it's across the whole supply chain. And because it's across the whole supply chain, as you heard Amr and Andrew talk about it, it makes it a strategic force. So it's our job, everybody here, to ensure that our trading partners, our customers, can get what they want when they want it. And when we use the right tool for the right job, that's when we really can tailor-make the agreements for the right partner so that they can be successful, to echo something that Amr was also saying. Yeah, rebates incentivize behaviors that align. That's the key.
Okay, thank you, Miraj. So we heard about how our programs with our trading partners now have become more tailored. One of the side effects of that is they're also becoming more complex. We're also thinking about special pricing agreements, and we're going to talk to you about that today. And we've realized that customers want to share a lot with some of their trading partners, but not necessarily every single trading partner. And all of these different learnings have come together to help shape the future of rebate management as we see it. So, Miraj, I think we're going to drill into that a bit more now and talk about that future vision for our product.
Yeah, absolutely. But before that, can we just create a little bit of a suspense here? We're gonna put up 3 numbers on the screen, cryptic numbers, and we're gonna answer what these are throughout the session. But nothing like creating a little bit of mystery before we get started. So throughout the presentation, we'll answer what each of these mean with a little bit of help from some of our friends at Enable and outside of it.
Okay, that is very cryptic, but it will become clear as we move through our presentation.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Andrew noted earlier about the strategy, we've been taking a lot of feedback from you all. I've been on one-on-one engagements with many of you. There's a customer advisory board. There's the rebate strategist community. There is the SPA advisory group. And what we did was we compiled all of those learnings into what we're building. My job is to make sure we're building the right things that serves the most number of our customers and delivers value. And here's how we think about rebate management and its future.
Yeah, so first up, as we saw earlier, we see rebate management as comprehensive, meaning we're covering all of the different types of rebate program, whatever they might be called.
Yeah, absolutely. And second, it's collaborative. So multi-party is the name of the game. Today, there's still too many rebates that they're just not aligning, they're not connected to driving behavior to make sure that all the partners are successful, and that's a total disconnect. There's a huge opportunity here that we can exploit as a group and really be better in the supply chain. And working more closely with your partners, and perhaps even your partners' partners, there's an added benefit there. Makes you an easier company to work with, makes the customer service a lot better, and it makes it more convenience, which is really the new currency as well. Like with Amazons of the world coming in, convenience has really changed the game. So there is no better way to maximize on that than being closely aligned with your partners.
Yeah, so collaborative is really the name of the game. And then the third one on this wheel is control. You need to have control in your own business. You need somewhere central that you can align with those different teams that are currently operating in silos, somewhere where you can bring them together, but also somewhere where you can align with other companies and get on the same page so that you can work together to serve your own mutual end customers.
Absolutely. And control, goes beyond what your users should be able to access. Of course, that's critical for you to be able to manage, if you're a multinational organization, who can see what, but also with each of the partners. Some of the partners you're going to be closer with, you're going to be okay to share more with them. Some of them, maybe not so much, and you might want to try to limit that. But being able to do that, we see as the core of future platform that we're building towards.
Okay, so that's just a quick recap of some of the themes we heard from this morning. So today, we're really excited to launch 3 breakthrough capabilities in the Enable product. So the first of those is inventory rebate accounting, where you can understand the value of the rebate that you're holding in inventory. The second one that we're going to be looking at is our new claims product, where we can manage that end-to-end process of generating a claim, managing disputes with your trading partners, all of the way through to final settlement. And then the third breakthrough feature is SPAs, or special pricing agreements. And our goal with that one is to make the process of managing your SPAs more profitable and more efficient than it is at the moment in your business. So we're going to be doing a deep dive on each of these. We're actually going to bring some software up on screen for the first time today, and we're going to show you how these features are going to help you increase profit and revenue in your businesses.
Yeah, and apart from these big features, these marquee features, we've delivered a ton of capabilities as well. No rat tails, so I just want to highlight that. There's no rat tails in there. But it's worthwhile for us to kind of, all these big features get a lot of light, but we're going to highlight a few of the things that also were launched that you might have missed that are still very, very valuable.
Yeah, so whether it's features to help improve the efficiency of your rebate management, some quality of life improvements, or things that will help you get data into Enable and out to other business systems, we're going to just take a moment to step through some of those smaller incremental things that we shipped over the last year. And honestly, there have been hundreds of these features. And our customer success team at Enable isn't just there to get you onboarded at the start of your journey. They actually stay with you throughout that entire process. When new features are becoming available, they'll help you adopt those new features. And we have members of our customer success team in the room today at Catalyze, so we really encourage you to make contact with them and talk about these new capabilities that we're showing.
Excellent. So yeah, let's pull some of these away, some of these smaller improvements, and let's talk about them. We're going to take a quick look at the executive summary as the first one. We're going to take a look at progress tracker as the second one, and we're going to take a look at an enhancement in trading programs.
That's great, Miraj. And since the beginning of the week, we've successfully trained you to say progress instead of progress.
Yes, it's
yeah.
It's been difficult.
It's one of the breakthroughs.
I'm progressing towards it.
Very good, very good. Okay, so let's take a look at executive summary first.
All right, excellent. So executive summary is the home to our workflow approval process. So just want you to sort of think about 3 questions to identify why this is valuable. When you're comparing your trading agreements year over year, how do you know that you've hit the right targets? When you're kind of signing off, how do you know that you had the right strategy? And finally, how is your year over year growth changing? What are the answers to these questions?
Yeah, so this is what our executive summary looks like, and we're making it really easy to look at your year-over-year performance with your rebate programs. And in fact, it's easy to compare any 2 types of agreement that you have to really drill into those differences. So let's advance this view from 2022 on to 2023.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, so you could ask, if I had this agreement now, last year, how might it have performed? and we can look at the past data, and we can also look at your forecasts, looking forward to see a really well-rounded picture here.
Yeah, this is for decision makers. So what you'll see when you go, and this is what you'll see when you go through a workflow approval process. The idea is that getting you to quickly understand what's negotiated by your team. So just echoing some of the things we've talked about, ultimately, we're trying to create better alignment for something that's a win-win situation between negotiators and approvers, and at least bring the visibility here.
Yeah, so it's really about aligning the negotiators and the approvers in your business, who are often different people. So that brings us on to the third incremental improvement, which is Progress Tracker. So this is where, as the name suggests, you're going to track the progress of your rebate programs. So in the example here, we're looking at a retailer that has a series of programs across different suppliers in different product categories. But what if we're only interested in one of these product categories? We really wanted to understand what we're doing commercially in one product category, Miraj.
Yeah, absolutely. And so here, what we're trying to do is, how can we help you get to insight as quickly as possible? So this new feature allows you to drill into the data and filter it and slice it by a lot of the metadata that we have available, and really be able to filter out what's not interesting to you and get into what really you care about. And one use case that we've seen for this is if you're a supplier or a distributor and you're buying or selling sort of the same product or the same product category to different distributors or from different suppliers, that allows you to kind of do this comparison here with this feature.
Yeah, so in this example, we're comparing Coke and Pepsi in the soft drinks category. And with this new filtering capability, you might use this to change your purchasing decisions. So for example, maybe you might move some of your purchasing away from one vendor to another vendor where you are closer to unlocking a higher level of rebate.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's take a look at something else now. One of the other areas that we wanted to really focus on is how can we get your users to value as quickly as possible. So one of the things that we're working on, one of the themes that we were working on, and we're showing the feature here, is the ability to bulk replicate programs across different trading partners and so on. Because one of the challenges that we saw, especially earlier in the onboarding process, you have the same trading program across a lot of different trading partners. And rather than spending a few minutes each one, but it adds up. I think I heard somebody saying, Colleen, I think it was, that she has to go back and there's like 20 programs that she has to recreate. Oh man, that's a lot of time. So I'm super happy that this is Colleen Special, let's call it, is available here so that you can save a lot of time from your users.
Yeah, and look, this is not quite as glamorous as Progress Tracker, but we're listening to our customers all of the time, and this is an example of a quality of life improvement that just speeds up the whole process. So in this example here, we're starting on the List tab, and we're selecting one of our existing programs that we've gone through all of the detail with to set up. We're then choosing whether to replicate it to the current partner or a different partner. Like everything we make, this is really easy to use. We can then pick some of our other partners on the system, and within a few seconds, we have created similar agreements now with other trading partners. And what's come across is all of those program lines within the program, all of the calculation mechanisms, and the settings. And it's as easy as that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to call out, this is why we really need your feedback. These quality of life enhancements, they add up. These 1% incremental improvements definitely add up. So we really care about, we really want to hear how your users are using the system so that we can add on to these and make life a lot easier. So gain time, replicate programs from one trading program partner to another, and save yourself a lot of headache.
Yeah, so what do our customers say about this? Well, Mike McSorley is from AAH. They're a pharmaceutical distributor in Europe, and he said within the first year of using Enable, they were able to eliminate $860,000 of ineffective customer rebate programs. Big number, and they're expecting that to continue every year going forward. So thank you for this great quote, Mike. We really appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was like a really quick tour of some general enhancements that everybody has access to. So this comes as part of your subscription. There's no new products on top of this. Everybody has access to this. We are excited about launching them. So just to reiterate, the Executive Summary Comparison Matrix, the first one we saw, filtering in progress tracker was the second one, and replicating programs. Across trading partners, that was the third one.
Yeah, thank you for that, Mirage. I've tripped you up with this pronunciation stuff now, but sorry about that. So in the last year, we really added a lot, and our customer success team is ready to talk to you about adopting these features as part of your existing Enable subscription, and they can do things like set up a test environment so that you can try out new things without any risk of changing anything with your live production data.
Yeah, and be sure to find my friend Kale and check out the Rebate Strategist community. It's a place, many of you are members already, Andrew talked about it. It's a place where there are like-minded people from the different companies, different regions, and you can, just from the comfort of your own chair or desk behind the desk, you can exchange ideas and find better ways of doing what we all do here.
Yeah, and standing desks are okay as well, right, Mark?
Standing desk is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll allow that.
Okay, so we're ready to move on to one of our major announcements today, which is this, inventory. So inventory rebate accounting is a new product we're unveiling today. And Mirage, what were some of the customer pain points that led to this feature?
Yeah, for sure. And this one is an interesting feature because what when we were hearing from customers, and we can get to the first one, we were hearing from a multinational retailer that were buying goods and receiving rebates and so on. And what they were telling us was that calculating the inventory rebate amount was the second most critical calculation and the second most difficult calculation that on top of accruing rebates. So definitely one of the big challenges that we saw. We then spoke with a Fortune 500 distributor who were saying that they were doing this manually, the dreaded E word, Excel, where it's error prone and who's getting it right. I mean, that's why we're all here today. And finally, we were talking to a distributor of building materials who told us that because all of this information, all of this flow of inventory is tracked in Excel, they actually have no mechanism of comparing different branches or different locations against each other. So they had really no visibility into how they were performing. So a lot of big challenges, no insight, not great.
Yeah, so let's hear from one of our customers, Paul Needham. He is the Director of Information at SIG. They're a European building materials distributor. And he says, Enable allows us on demand to gain insights into each of our locations' performance. And then through the inventory transfer functionality, we can monitor our supply chain behaviors. So thank you for that quote, Paul.
Yeah, and that's what the product is. So the product allows you to achieve compliance by recognizing rebates at the point of sale rather than at the point of purchase. So there's a big distinction here. So you might be wondering, all right, who is this really for? What are the categories that this will be valuable to you? So first question, I'm going to make sure I get these right. Do you earn rebates with your suppliers? First question.
Yes.
Excellent. Do you hold an inventory of goods? Okay, not on that one. Are you manually calculating your rebates in stock today? So those are the things to think about when thinking about this product.
Yeah, and we've asked our customers, how do you do this today? And I think there's two main answers we get. One is, actually, we don't do it because it's simply too hard. And the other answer is we use elaborate spreadsheets, which often break, which is really hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yes, I'm going to reveal what 1.5 million means. This was one of our 3 cryptic numbers. So let's hear from Mark Gillum what this is all about. Okay, we might need audio.
Finding, but I wish I could forget it. In 2019, I was a finance director responsible for the rebate operations at a major distributor in the UK. I was more confident of our figures than ever before. We were using Enable, and we just recovered over an extra 1 million in rebate that year alone, thanks to the software. Our auditors were equally impressed. Everything was going really well during the year-end process. And then came the final hurdle: verify the accuracy of our inventory rebate provision. After a couple of failed tests, it dawned on me: our calculations were not using the latest rebate terms. And then I did some thinking and realized for 3 months we had a vacancy in the team. Somebody was covering, but it seems that the complicated process to update what I believe was the world's biggest and slowest spreadsheet had slipped through the cracks. Unfortunately, a small percentage can still result in a big difference. If OE and Naval had the capability to handle this back then, I had to take that one on my shoulders. But it's heartening to know that no one else will ever have to experience that with this new feature. Thank you.
Okay, and thank you, Mark. So, are we ready, Mirage?
Yeah, absolutely. First off, Mark Gilliam's, the start of Mark Gilliam's career in Hollywood, I think. Great first entry. Yeah, let's take a look at it. Can we take a look at this? All right.
Here we go.
Excellent. So here's what it looks like. Just like everything we build, we always emphasize modern, user-friendly, always what we aim for. And so basically what you're looking at in the overview section, you can search on the top right there, any product for product branch combinations to view the inventory rebate values for those combinations. And there are 3 terms of interest here. So I'm just going to kind of talk about them just a little bit. There's cost of goods sold. Everybody knows what that is, but it is important here. There is rebate in stock. That's the second term. That's how much rebate value is sitting in your inventory at a moment. And the third term is rebate release. So that's how much total rebate has been released and can be reported on your P&L. So another, and yeah, I already talked about cost of goods sold there.
Okay, yeah, and you're going to be able to get rid of those fragile spreadsheets, just delete them. And we're giving you a clear picture here of the rebate associated with your current inventory. So zooming in a bit here, in this example, a comparatively high rebate in stock value is not actually desirable. And that's because you may have an earning potential that you can't currently recognize. And that inventory may actually need to be prioritized for sale. You may have an issue here.
Yeah, on the topic of decision making and reporting, we've also added a configurable inventory reporting tool. So this can help you with preparing your balance sheet, your P&L, and so on. And what we're doing here is we're creating visibility of location level performance so that you can see how much has been apportioned, rebate, and has been released for each of those. So you can actually track how each of your branches or location are actually doing.
Okay. So let's take a look at this next executive dashboard view.
Yeah, so again, sticking with decision making and so on, you're not tracking data to not make decisions. You want to make the best decisions from it. So all of this is calculated on your purchase rebates and is based on the quantity of the sales order. So again, sticking with the decision making theme, we've centralized all of this information. We've added a couple of widgets here on the executive dashboard to calculate these values.
Yeah, so I'll just call these out. The first one on the left here is year-to-date rebate release, so what you can release to the P&L. And then the second one, if I move that on, shows the rebate in stock in total.
Yeah, and really looking at this information, so making better decisions, an increase in rebate in stock may trigger some analysis. So like David was saying, you might want to be taking a look at to find out, are sales really slowing down on products that are earning rebates? Should you be prioritizing some products or product categories over the other ones? Yeah, this insight really is key here.
Yeah, so you may be earning a considerable amount of rebate through your purchases, but if you are not then able to realize that and those products are just sitting in stock, you may have an issue there. And on this next view, we can understand through these trends the relationship that could exist in your business between the rebate in stock value and the rebate in release value and how those intersect.
Absolutely. So knowing how much inventory, how much your inventory will earn in rebates is critical. That's just critical. Especially when it comes to understanding your margins and your pricing. So that's why this product really exists. Calculations of rebates in stock and rebate releases, unfortunately, are disjointed. They're manual, they're error-prone. Nobody likes them. So with Enable, distributors and retailers especially can accurately recognize these values, these rebate and stock values and release rebate values. So really what you get out of it is threefold. Gain time by automating this process, improve your audit compliance, and make better decisions by analyzing how each of your branches and each of your locations are performing.
Great, thank you, Mirage. So rebate inventory accounting is available today, and you're the first to hear that. Please speak to your account executive if you're interested in extending your subscription to take advantage of this. And we actually have an exclusive offer for Catalyze attendees today, which is you can get the first 3 months of this product for free if you opt in. And feel free to scan this QR code or speak to somebody in our team if you're interested in learning more about that. So we're going to move on to the second major announcement today on the product, which is Claims, a new initiative on our roadmap. So again, Mirage, let's step through some of those pain points that inspired this new feature.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this one, not just because of what we're about to announce, but just some of the conversations at CAB yesterday. I didn't have to write anything. I could have just recorded everybody from CAB yesterday and just used the material.
Or use ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, that's CAB GPT. I could have done CAB GPT. So one of the stories that we heard, one global distributor mistakenly double billed a supplier by $100,000. These are, everything that I'm telling you is an actual story. And the supplier ended up stopping all payouts for 3 months. Took forever to basically correct this relationship. And another story we heard from a retailer of electronics, they require a team of 40 people just dedicated to managing claims. They have about 2,000 or so claims every quarter, but with automation, we were working with them, they could see this number going down to 3. So 37 people who can be freed up to do really value-add things. And the final story, we heard from a national distributor in UK that if we can do this for them, if we can get to automatically generating these claims and these values, they can move to auto deductions with their suppliers. And guess what? We also heard from suppliers that they would love this because it eliminates all the need for the back and forths. So sticking with the win-win theme, who wouldn't want that?
Great, thank you, Mirage. So again, let's hear from another person who is Warwick Kerr, and he's the GM of merchandise planning at David Jones, who are a major Australian retailer. And he said, using automated claims management enabled us to significantly reduce the number of times a claim form had to be handled by our team, and that led to increased efficiency and reduced errors. So really great. Thank you for that quote. Warwick.
Yeah, absolutely. So with Enable today, you can settle agreements, you can accrue your rebates and so on. So all of that is great, but really what this product fills is that next step. How are you going to go through the settlement process? At the end of the day, you want to get paid, or you want to make sure that you pay your partner so that your relationship maintains. So this is where this product fills. This is the place that this product fills in the whole process of the settlement process. And when I say settlement, really I mean specific things. Calculating the correct amounts, generating the claims documents, going back and forth with the supplier to ensure that, hey, you are agreeing on the numbers, and then turning that claim over to accounting and then for processing and actual invoicing and so on.
Great. So Claims, just to be really clear, is our end-to-end solution for the claims process right from the initial agreement through to final settlement. So again, I think it's time to reveal one of our cryptic numbers. We saw 50% earlier, very cryptic. Let's hear from Mo Barsima about what that's all about.
So here's the story behind the 50% figure you mentioned earlier. I'm Mo Barsima, Enable's industry principal, former business owner, CFO, and SPA consultant. Manufacturers and distributors are truly challenged by the claim process. That's painful and yet critically important for distributors, especially distributors, as the true profitability on a sale is not realized until the claim is paid. And then we hear up to 50% of claims are paid late. This latency is not only a negative impact on cash flow, but also a negative impact on confirmed profitability. And this is due to both manufacturers and distributors having non-compliant processes and forms and data in inefficient ways that these claims are trying to be reconciled together. The ill communication between the trading partners is truly causing profit leakage on both sides. So the ideal solution would be a data-informed compliant process for each manufacturer with terms that are understood between trading partners. A process that would automatically create credit and debit memos supported by granular data so that the processing of claims and the payments thereof is much breezier and the experience is much more delightful.
Okay,
Excellent.
So are we ready to take a look at some software, Mirage?
Let's look at it.
Okay.
Let's look at the software.
You're going to give us
I'm
a
excited.
countdown?
3, 2, 1. Let's just
Okay.
some software.
Done.
Yeah.
That's fast.
All right, awesome. So what we're showing here, and I just want to sort of point your attention on the top right. So the overall page is basically the claims landing page. But in the top right, what we're trying to do here, what we're trying to showcase is where are your claims sitting based on the category. So really what we're trying, bring visibility into the whole thing, notify you when things are starting to slip, and really show you the differentiation between, okay, where should your attention be paid? Rather than you spending time figuring out what to focus on, we're really trying to do that for you here.
Okay, yeah, and if we take a look at this little bar chart up in the upper right-hand corner there, if we drill into some of this, we can get this high-level view of the status of each of our claims. So what we're trying to do here is really help you focus your collection efforts. Every team in your business that's involved in this claims process working from a single point here, a single source of truth.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So let's dive into some of the details as well, because claims also inherently is a collaborative functionality. It's a collaborative set of requirements behind it. So what we want to make sure is that every claim is seen and approved by the right people. They have all the right information that they need in order to basically move it forward. So the detail is configurable. You can decide what kind of shows up there, what information are you sharing. And of course, you can give your trading partners visibility into this as well, so that they can prepare, they can know ahead of time where something is sitting, when it's going to be hitting their desk, so that, again, this is going to help them be quicker as well. And guess what? From the next step, once this is all done, this goes straight into your ERP. We'll feed it into your ERP. You don't have to do anything, no manual intervention. And when the status starts changing within the ERP, we get all of that back. So you can go back to Enable and take a look at to see what happened with that claim. So we close the loop right there.
Great. So that was claims, our solution for the end-to-end process from generating a claim at the beginning through to final settlement. And this is going to help by firstly collecting faster by generating and submitting those claims. So there's going to be no more inaccuracies or delays and no more missed claims. That's really not fun when that happens.
No, never.
Number 2, we have a time saving. You can gain time from automating this process and take that time and put it back into something that's more valuable in your business. Get your brain cells working on something that's not just an administrative process. And we think there's actually a third piece here, and this is true of many things in Enable, which is getting on a single source of truth with your trading partners increases trust. You can improve those relationships with your partners, and we're working in ecosystems where we're mutually dependent on each other, so relationships are critical to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a really exciting part of the journey for this product. So let's just showcase you what the call to action here is. We're going to leave this one on so you can scan the QR code, but if you couldn't do it in time, we can always talk about it afterwards. What we're looking for right now is we're looking for early access customers. So we're building this feature, we're building this product right now, but what we need is we need to partner with you. Those of you who think this is value add enough for you, come work with us, come work with the product management team. We're the ones who build the product, so your opinion essentially drives the roadmap for this product. And of course, there's a perk. By working with us, you essentially get yourself this product for free for a few months, which, who wouldn't want that? And talk to your team. If you're interested, hit us up. Happy to talk to you about it. I think till June 30th, we're going to support this. Regardless, this product will come towards the end of the year, but if you want to influence the direction of it and give us your feedback, we need to talk.
Yeah, so look, we're super confident that this is filling a critical missing piece of the jigsaw, so very exciting stuff. So our third feature today is special pricing agreements. So again, Mirage, let's think about some of those pain points that we've been tuning into since Miami when we were last doing Catalyze.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the customer stories, we heard this over and over again. I was figuring out which one to pick, but profit or revenue leakage. We heard this over and over again. Customer thought that they are owed something or that they were supposed to pay something, and that the amount that got claimed to them actually turned out to be different. So huge problem there. Another thing we kept hearing over and over about was the inefficiency, all the challenges, ineffectiveness, and the labor intensiveness of the process itself. So headache for everybody who would want that. And finally, one thing that we heard was, why can't we free up our teams from doing this labor-intensive, honestly, like dreadful some of the times work, and doing things that actually make their have business value. So those are some of the things that we kept hearing over and over again.
Yeah, and this is what we heard from Christine Morris, who's the finance director at Geberit. So she said, we're introducing more control with Enable's special pricing agreements product to drive efficiency and drive better decision making.
Yeah, absolutely. So with Enable, you can make your special pricing agreements more profitable and the process of it more efficient. So you can create and manage spas of various levels of complexity within the Enable platform. The platform also allows you to seamlessly exchange different details like pricing, transactions, and so on, so that Enable becomes your single source of truth. And also you can automate all of these calculations. So there's companies that we've seen typically have many special pricing agreements. So automating that will save you a ton of time and your users a lot of headache.
Yeah, we want to help you upgrade from those broken spreadsheets or the really limited ERP capabilities in this space. So I think it's time, Mirage, to reveal the third cryptic number, which was actually my favorite of the three, $7.5 billion. Sounds pretty good, right?
Always love a B at the end of that.
Okay, so let's hear from a local man from Chicago called Mark McGreedy.
I am happy to reveal the story behind $7.5 billion, but first I better introduce myself. My name is Mark McGreedy. I've worked in the electrical industry for 25 years. I have seen in my time the critical need for continual collaboration between manufacturers, distributors, and customers. It's an industry where 75% of everything is sold in a negotiation, where you're dealing with hundreds of thousands of different parts that all have very individual specific capabilities, and so there's a lot that can go wrong. There is an ongoing battle with collaborative tools to make the process of working together faster, easier, and more convenient. In North America, the average electrical manufacturer distributor have about $50 million worth of SPA rebate claims for every $1 billion of materials sold. So about 5% of everything sold goes back on an SPA rebate. The size of the industry at the end of 2022 was about $150 billion. It had grown by about 11 or 12% last year due to inflation and more demand, and we expect that to keep going for the few years to come. If you do a quick bit of math, 5% of that $150 billion is $7.5 billion. That's the estimate of how much is exchanged in SPA rebate claims every year in the electrical distributor community alone in the US. It's a staggeringly large number. Now, what are we going to do to try and fix that?
Okay, thank you, Mark, for those concise comments. Let's take a look at the software, Mirage. So where are we going to go first?
Yeah, let's take a look at just a typical view that you would see with spas. You can manage special pricing agreements from a central repository with a clear audit trail, because that's also very critical. And again, like everything we make, we always aim for a modern UI, easy to use software applications.
That's right, and we have a new view here that we're showing you today, and that is the executive dashboard view for spas. So here you can arrive at actionable insights. You can look at the status of each one of your spas. You can triage your customers by claim amounts, view the historic claims that you've built up here. And these insights, we think, are going to help you figure out which are the successful spas that you should really be extending, and which are the other ones where you may want to optimize them in some way to further increase profits.
Yeah, and let's take a look at a detailed view as well. So the takeaway is there is a ton of information that you can gain within Enable from your spas. I'm going to direct your attention specifically to the last column, which shows the difference. So that column really is showing what you think you should be paying or should be getting versus what your trading partner thinks. So the difference really is where revenue or profit leakage can occur.
Yeah, so let's think about this from the perspective of a manufacturer. You can grow market share by easily offering this variable pricing to your end customers. And you can gain time to focus on more value-add tasks with the structured process in place for managing SPAs. You can also make sure that you're going to pay every single claim correctly, on time, with better collaboration with your trading partners. But this isn't just about manufacturers, right? We need to think about distributors as well.
Absolutely. So imagine with distributors being able to offer competitive pricing a lot easier, a lot more simply. That is a huge opportunity there. Again, similar to manufacturers, you can gain time. The process is very cumbersome. There is a lot of automation that can help. And you can maximize your rebate earnings with better data collaboration, which is also great.
That is great. So let's make managing your special pricing agreements more efficient in your business and more profitable. First, we can ensure every agreement is profitable. That is key. Let's do that first. Where do we go next? Second, let's go out and grow our market share. Great. And third, let's take those efficiency savings from this product and take that time and that skill set within your business and use that for something that truly adds value.
Yeah, absolutely. So special pricing agreement is available today. If you're interested in this product to extend your subscription, please talk to your account executive. You can also drop by the demo booths. Those are the big TVs in the big green backgrounds. No way you're going to miss it. You can get a more detailed view of the product right there.
Okay, great. So we're getting to the end here. What we've shown you today are these things. We showed you our new core incremental capabilities that are included in every subscription. We saw the new inventory rebate accounting product. We saw claims for managing that end-to-end process from agreement through to settlement. And we also took a look at SPAs just now and looked at how we could make the process of managing SPAs more profitable and more efficient in your business.
Yeah, and the collection of these, how these features and capabilities come together, illustrates how we think about rebate management and its future. It's comprehensive, it's collaborative, and it has you in control.
Great. And your account executive, if you're an existing customer, is ready to talk to you about extending your subscription to take advantage of these great new capabilities. But what about the hundreds of capabilities that are included as part of every existing subscription? Well, your customer success team isn't just there with you at the start. They stay with you throughout your entire Enable journey, and they're ready to help you exploit all of the new product features that we're releasing.
Yeah, and if you like anything that you saw today, you can track me down, track any of the enablees down. Ask me where I'm actually going for my honeymoon, because I will tell you. You can stop by our demo booths, like I said, and also we are featuring breakout sessions on these, I think, on each of these topics tomorrow morning. So if you want to learn a little bit more about any of these, be sure to attend those.
Yeah, so we'd like to thank every customer for your invaluable contributions. Please keep telling us about the biggest challenges you're facing in your business. And together, we're using rebates as a strategic force, making things better for everyone in the supply chain. Thank you.
That's it.